Move! Get out of there!
Don't you move! Don't! Move, don't! Move, don't! Get out! Oh. No, not that way! The other way, God!
Hello and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm talking about the top 10 scary NASA urban legends part 2. Why? Because you loved part 1 and space is the best topic of conversation. Some of these urban legends have even turned out to be true. What? Before we get into this video, I want to remind you guys to stick around till the end so you can hear us respond to some comments from a previous video. Also, I definitely think that you should leave a comment on this one and tell us what you think to the list. Do you guys believe in any of these urban legends? Let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, coming in at number 10, we have the real distance to the moon. A conspiracy theorist by the name of Richie from Boston uploaded a video. In their YouTube video, they claimed that NASA is lying to us about the distance to the moon. The moon is at its furthest 252,088 miles from Earth, and at its closest is 225,623 miles away. It takes about 3 days for a spacecraft to get there, or so we're told. Richie uploaded a sensational video to YouTube claiming it is only 4.7 miles away from Earth. He claimed to have used a normal digital camera to zoom in on the moon. He says that NASA is lying about the real distance and that he estimates it to be mere miles. He said, "I can zoom in more on the moon than I can on a building that I can see with my naked eye." Right. Why exactly NASA would be lying about the size and distance of the moon? Well, it doesn't get that far. Coming into number 9, astronauts wear diapers. Think being an astronaut would be the coolest job in the world? I do, although apparently they wear huge adult diapers and have to relieve themselves in them. This urban legend is actually true. NASA astronauts are issued with maximum absorbency garments. It seems that back in the day, astronauts had to wee and poop themselves when they needed to go. These days they are mainly used for urination, but they are comforting to astronauts who aren't sure when they can make it back to their spacecraft. Coming into number 8, we have the Great Wall of China. Okay, so this isn't so much a scary urban legend, but this is one of the most popular urban legends surrounding NASA. A lot of people think that you can see the Great Wall of China from space, but it turns out you can't really. You can, however, in low orbit, see the Hoover Dam. The rumor comes from a book written by Richard Halliburton in 1938, in which he said that astronomers theorized that the Great Wall was the only man-made object visible from the moon. You'll note that the date of this was actually long before NASA went to the moon. Somehow the idea stuck. Coming into number 7, we have Nixon's death speech. On the 20th of July 1969, President Nixon made the longest distance phone call ever at the time. He called the astronauts up on the moon. He called the Apollo 11 astronauts to congratulate them for the moon landing. However, it seems he wasn't all that confident the NASA team would make it. According to his former speechwriter William Safire, an emergency broadcast had been scripted in the event that the mission failed. This speech was leaked some 30 years later. It read, "Fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. These brave men, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, know that there is no hope for their recovery, but know that there is hope for mankind in their sacrifice." Apparently it continued with some bodies on the moon imagery. Scary. Coming in at number 6, we have sperm in space. Is NASA blowing its load all over space? What does that even mean? According to the internet, in April 2018, NASA sent humans and bull sperm to the International Space Station. It seems that the experiment is actually true. NASA wants to see how weightlessness affects sperm. Why? Well, they didn't give a full reason for that. A lot of people are saying it's because they're preparing for the apocalypse and they want to see whether or not humans can reproduce in space. In 1998, it was found that aquatic invertebrates were able to reproduce in space, but it is thought that babies born in space would develop a whole host of issues from a lack of gravity. Coming into number 5, we have Anonymous. In 2018, Anonymous released a video saying that NASA knew about intelligent alien life. The hacktivist said that there is something going on in the skies above. A NASA spokesman, Thomas Zurbuchen, was reported to have said the following: "Taking into account all of the different activities and missions that are searching for alien life, we are on the verge of making one of the most profound, unprecedented discoveries in history." Anonymous since removed the video, and NASA denied any knowledge of intelligent life. What's going on? What is the real reason that NASA hasn't gone back to the moon since the 1970s? Why did nobody ever set foot on the dark side? Could it be this at number 4? We have the ghostly moon music. The astronauts on the Apollo 10 mission passed around the moon, and when they were at the farthest side away, the dark side, they lost all radio contact with the ground control. As Apollo careered around the moon, they heard some really weird sounds that couldn't have been coming from their radio. They were so weird that the astronauts talked about it constantly. The sounds weren't reported at the time, but they were recorded and received by NASA when the mission returned to Earth. Now, these recordings were classified, which means that they were being safeguarded from human ears. Why? We just aren't sure. In 2008, they were declassified, and you can hear the recordings. Now, if you read the transcript, you can see a big conversation about the weird woo noises. What were they? Coming into number 3, we have the white flags. It is said that all of the flags left by astronauts on the moon, a total of 6 American flags, have all turned white. It was said that the initial flag planted by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin fell over when Apollo 11 mission took off on its return. Despite that, all of the other 5 flags are present and correct and standing up tall and proud, although eerily, they've all turned white. Why? Well, because the moon doesn't have the same atmosphere as Earth and doesn't filter out UV rays in the same way. Some people highlight the creepy irony here. The moon was planted with American flags, but you can't tell what country the flags belong to anymore. Is this because you can't lay claim to the moon? Maybe. Coming in at number 2, astronauts go mad in space, and NASA doesn't like to admit it. There's a lot to be said about mental health and space. Spending days, sometimes weeks, or even months on end in the darkness is a scary prospect. Life isn't the same up in a shuttle. Not only does it take intense physical training to go up into space, it also takes a lot of mental focus. Dr. Patricia Santi, a psychiatrist who has worked with NASA employees, criticized the space agency for denying behavioral issues. She suggested that actually they needed to do further screenings for mental health issues prior to and following space travel. In 2007, former astronaut Lisa Nowak, who worked on the International Space Station, was arrested for attempted murder. She then pleaded insanity and depression in court. Now, does this have anything to do with her time in space? Some people certainly think so. Finally, coming into number 1 of our top 10 scary NASA urban legends part 2, we have the alien signals. For the last decade, scientists have been picking up unexplained radio signals that they call fast radio bursts from deep space. So the signals have actually ranged in frequency, but the most recent are 580 megahertz, that's 200 lower than the previously heard. The latest sounds detected come from very, very far away, possibly billions of light years away. So I've got an example of some of the radio signals for you here. Have a little listen, and especially when the thudding kicks in, it's really weird. Scientists honestly don't know where the sounds are coming from, but they are trying to pinpoint them. A lot of people are saying that NASA knows where the signals are coming from and are involved in some kind of elaborate cover-up. Do NASA know what is living billions of light years away? Honestly, I don't think so. So guys, that was the top 10 scary NASA urban legends part 2. What did you think was the scariest? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, do let me know what your personal thoughts are on NASA. Do you think they're hiding something? Before I go, I just want to read some comments from part 1. As I said, you guys loved it and you had a lot of opinions. Fairy Destroyer said, I don't believe in aliens, I know they exist. Scorpion the Sphinx said, I don't know what is scarier, that we might not be alone in the universe, or that we might be the only intelligent life in the universe. Honestly, I kind of agree with you. I actually think us being the only ones is scarier because we aren't doing that well. Claire Balloy said, meh, I still want to work at NASA. Honestly, me too. NASA, if you're watching, I'm sorry about everything I said. Take me. Please. Encrypted Aqua said, one night I was sitting in my bed looking at the sky and I saw some lights that looked like a plane, but it was moving at a speed faster than any plane or military jet, and it stopped mid-air instantly and sat there movementless for a good minute, then blasted away again. It was an unidentified flying object. It could have been an extraterrestrial spacecraft, or it could have been a military test. I don't know, nor will I ever know. Honestly, what a tale. Maybe it was a drone. I don't know. That does sound pretty freaky though. So guys, this is the end of the video. Once again, please do leave us a comment and let us know what you thought. Let us know your opinions on NASA. Do you believe in aliens? Have you ever seen a UFO? I want to read all of your answers. Also, while you're down there, why don't you like this video and share it with a friend? I'm your host, Rebecca Felgate, and I'll catch you soon. Bye!